Well, it's already been a big first day on the Undergrothe, hasn't it, Father?
It has, yeah. It's been fantastic.
Well, it's going to get bigger because I've got one of my good friends and unbelievable rugby league artist, Wade Graham. Thanks for joining us in the Undergrothe studios, mate.
Artist, thanks a lot.
Artist.
Thanks for having me here, boys. It's good to be here.
It's about time footballers got recognised as artists. I think there's a lot going on.
I've never heard it put that way.
Yeah, well,
you've been called a bullshit artist, but
that's true. I can't argue that. Can't dispute that. How you going, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Like everyone else, looking forward to the season. Not long now this week.
How's the rig going?
Yeah, it's good. I've had a good pre-season. I actually got stuck in Bali at the end of last year.
Yeah, on purpose?
Yeah,
or?
on purpose. But
I heard you at the bottom of the volcano pushing it and that trying
to... Yeah. So I missed the first week in a bit of pre-season, which shortened it up before Christmas, which... You know, I feel better for it probably. Just come in and really knock the work out before Christmas.
Because how old are you now?
I'm 25.
Shit, you're still so young.
It's like he's been around for years.
Yeah, he's got that old school mentality and that tough kind of 80s vibe about him, old Wade. Especially on a Tuesday arvo down at Caringbah Pub, having a couple of bets and a couple of skewies.
The frequent Caringbah. I have to keep my eye out now. Fano knows the hideout, so he pops in every now and then.
Oh, does he? Yeah, actually I've seen him up there. Yeah.
He doesn't live too far away, so... When he used to live out at Bengal, I used to be fine, but now he's moved into the Cronulla.
He's local now.
He
to change your watering hole, mate.
Yeah. I've got a few up my sleeve, so...
Have you? Yeah, little sneaky ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, just text them to me later.
Oh,
mate, so your rig's all right and, decent pre-season. You did most of the training. When I was there, I remember you missed a lot of the training, but you're saying that you've done most of the training now. You feel heaps better going into the season?
Yeah, I think it would have been an injury that kept me on the sideline when you were there. Yep. But, touch wood, the last couple of seasons have been pretty good. I've got a couple good pre-seasons and like most footballers know, your pre-season's where you put all your work in, that's your base for the year. So if you tend to have a good pre-season, it puts you in good stead for the year. But I'm glad pre-season's done now. And
was it one of the tougher ones?
It wasn't too bad. Last year was pretty tough because we had all the new trainers in and that. It took a lot of time to get used to their drills and how they wanted things done. But this year was a lot smoother. 18 months down the track that we all used to what they expect from us, and we managed to get through pre-season a lot better.
Wade, what's the worst injury you've had? You've had some shoulder problems? Or?
Yeah, I've had my shoulder problem. I broke my collarbone through my AC, which after surgery it was about 12 weeks. No
wonder the way you're friggin' whacked. I've been on the end of a couple of these.
I had a couple of surgeries on my foot, just cut broken bones.
Yep.
They've opened me up and cleaned me out, but apart from that, I've been pretty good. So
your knees are okay?
Knees are okay at the minute. Hopefully, Guru keeps bringing up my old age. They might get there one day, but at the moment I'm travelling all right, and I'm feeling good for the season.
You were born and bred in Blacktown?
Yep.
A tough area to you remember much of that time?
Yeah, there was a good. I loved the way I grew up. Grew up in Blacktown. A lot of great memories. A lot of good friends who I'm still friends with to this day. At Blacktown City, probably. Much like your two boys themselves, playing footy out there, always with the mates, riding push bikes. Similar childhood, I imagine, to Eric and Daniel.
Blacktown City, when I played for Eaglevale from out Campbelltown, they were our arch nemesis. We never met him before. We come to this knockout. One of their players, he had a problem where he grew too early. He had a beard, 10 years old. He had a full-on goatee, and all his cousins and brothers on the sideline were just monsters. And I remember, I dead set scored 2 tries off the kick-off out of pure fear of that bloke tackling me. I remember after it was a big all-in brawl and it was like men playing against kids. Fuck, I was scared of that shit.
Who were you fighting in the all-in brawl? Not the big one.
No one. I was like, we had one big tough guy. I was just pushing him in. And look up, mate. I was a little prepubescent little punts.
That's why I smacked you all the time.
Yeah.
17 you were called up to first grade at Penrith.
Yeah.
And you were still going to school at that stage, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
So that was a big moment for
you.
you.
It was a big moment for me. I think it came, being older now and a bit more experienced and looking back, it was way before my time when I debuted. It was just a combination of things. Penrith were kind of struggling at the time with personnel. There'd been some, Peter Wallace had gone up to Brisbane. Craig Gow had retired the year before. And they were really struggling in the halves. The combinations there, I think Luke Lewis was playing one half, and I'm not sure, he went through a number of partners. And then on top of that, we had a really good under-20s team. The likes of Michael Jennings, Tim Grant, Joey Paulo, who all debuted quite young as well.
Yep.
So the way we were playing the 20s and the fact that the first grade was struggling a bit, they sort of were looking at the kids to to put in, and you know, it was just a matter of right spot, right time.
Yeah, it's a bit early.
And I was in there, but you know, looking back, it was certainly one of the biggest achievements I've had so far.
17, mate. That's massive. So you were at school. When did you get the call? Like, there wasn't even mobile. Was there mobile phones?
Yeah, there was. I just no iPhones. I think I was still rolling with a Nokia.
Nokia 3310.
Yeah, that's the one.
The old brick.
Just in the preseason, you know, I'd been training with the 20 squad, and every now and again, when the first grade needed some players to come up, I'd jump in and train with them. Guys like me, Lockie Coote, Masadi Sefa, and then just throughout the year, it just continued. And then the week before I debuted, I got called in to train with them again, and I just sort of was with the squad, 18th man, 19th man, and then
who's coach?
Matty Elliott was coach.
Oh yeah.
And then the next week, early in the week, they told me I was playing, so it was like
17. were you shitting yourself or what?
I was more excitement. Obviously, you know yourself.
Yeah, I was shitting myself.
Yeah, when you first get told that you're going to debut, it's like all the years you dream of doing it, and then you finally get told you're going to that one moment. I remember I walked out, and the first person I seen was Lockie Coote, and he was the same age as me. And me and him were thick as thieves growing up, playing through Penrith. And then he took one look at my face. He goes, "You're playing this week." He knew straight away. And then, it was so good. I was lucky enough. He debuted the next week. Yeah. So it was another thing we got to experience together growing up. And I remember the phone call to Mum and Dad. Mum was a bit worried, and Dad was pretty pumped and proud. And then we played on a Friday night. I remember I went to school actually on the Friday because I didn't want to hang around at home all day sitting around.
Wow.
It was supposed to be a secret. No one was supposed to know, but
that's incredible.
As you learn growing up, there's no secrets.
It was around pretty quick.
I got to walked into school and it was on the back page of the paper, so I just turned around and walked out, and then rang Mum, asked her to come pick me up, and then.
Is that the last time you ever went to school?
No, it wasn't. I finished. It was quite early. I debuted in about round 12, round 13, so I was midway through my HSC.
Oh right,
and
it got a distraction.
It got to the stage where I was like, I'd come this far, I wasn't going to just not finish my HSC. So after that, I worked around my training program. I went to school, did my work, got it done.
That's incredible. Good. I didn't realise. Yeah, you're still going to school. And
I remember that day clearly, reading it on the back page. I thought, how unreal is that?
Yeah.
Just imagining how you were feeling at that time. That's amazing.
It was good. It was a combination of feelings, and I'll never forget it. You know, just that moment when you know it's something you've worked for your whole life and you've dreamed of, and then to get told you're actually going to be able to do it. Just that one moment, it's something. Yeah, I'm sure you don't forget. You don't forget it, and I'll never forget it.
That's very true. Yeah, it's something I'll never forget exactly where I was when I found out I was playing. But did you have any idea, any inkling whatsoever that you might be on the fringe of playing? Was there any? I know you were training with them and that, but did you? Obviously, you were shocked.
Yeah, it was crazy. But back then, when you're a kid, when you're a kid, you're fearless. You have no fear. And then growing up,
you start thinking more when you get older. Don't
growing up in Penrith, we'd always been traditionally strong in the juniors. We'd won Harold Matthews and SG Ball, and we'd won the last year of the Jersey Flag. Me and Lockie Coote were both playing in that team, and I was only 16 in the flag back then, which was 20.
Yep.
And he was the same. And at that stage, there's nothing you think you can't do.
It's so true. You're just fearless, aren't you?
Yeah, and then it was sort of just as it came. We trained throughout the next year. The pre-season rolled in. We were getting ready for the 20s.
And you stayed on from then after that game?
Yeah, I played the rest of that season, and then what did I do? I hurt my knee actually in about round 20. So I played 8 games in my debut year, and then I hurt my knee, didn't play, and then in my second year I played I think 22 games, and then after that it was really.
So that was would have been a big moment too. Then going from Penrith to the Sharks, that would have been a big decision for you too.
Yeah, it was massive. It was quite hard the decision because at that stage as a kid, I supported Penrith growing up.
You'd grown up in that area.
03, I was 13. I seen the Penrith team win the grand final. The likes of Presto and Gowie. Luke Lewis played there. Wes and Presto were untouchable that year, and just always wanted to play for Penrith. And then. As we know with the salary cap and what I just said before, with all the youngsters coming up as once, all of a sudden, the salary cap came into play and they couldn't fit all the youngsters in at the same time. And I remember at the stage, Michael Jennings, Frank Pritchard and myself were all off contract, and it was sort of out of us three. And at that stage, Jenko was just started playing Origin. Frankie Pritchard was obviously Frankie Pritchard, and then someone had to give, and unfortunately that was me. And that's the way footy worked. It was hard at the time. I was only 19, and when you're that age, you sort of think the world's ending when something gets taken away. But you know,
a good place to come to.
Yeah, it didn't take long. But once I got down to Cronulla, you know, there was obviously a few teething problems settling in down here. It was the first time I lived away from home, and in the Golden West, I didn't even know what a beach was.
Well, there's a few teething problems out west too, with lack of teeth. So it's probably a nice change coming in and seeing some of the babes walking around Cronulla.
Yeah, it was quite different to start with. But yeah, like I said, it didn't take long to settle in, and I haven't really looked back since.
No, it's amazing, good stuff.
No, it's good, mate. It's coming from the west, it's just having that. Growing up out the west too, you just have that passion and that that real love for it, which you know, in a city people don't really understand. But it's good. It's a good breeding ground for a tough footballer.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't change anyway the way I was brought up by my family and growing up where I did. I have so much respect for you know, how hard my mum and dad worked to give us an opportunity to play footy, and then footy on the weekend was just something we did with our mates. And then, you know, we get home from school and we play in the front yard, and then if it wasn't footy, it was soccer. If it wasn't soccer, it was something else. We're always outdoors.
Cricket, competing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cricket. Not much cricket.
Don't ruin this segment. Mate, so it's just an amazing story.
I remember I played one of my earliest games against you at Penrith Park, I think.
Penrith Park, yeah.
Yeah, Parramatta, and my shoulder's still sore from it trying to tackle.
I remember the run. I think was it at Penrith or was it at Paris State?
We played you early a few times.
I remember because I looked up and there was forwards, and like you were young and new, and I thought, I'll run at Wado, and I ran into him, and I just good timing. I think my forearm kind of hit him like right in there, and it got him good, and it kind of made him a little bit weary, but I remember running through and then getting tackled and playing the ball, and I looked up and he was already back, like waiting to smash me again. And I remember my hand must have flicked your nose. You must have had a bit of blood or something. Might have been from a previous tackle, but I remember you were looking at me like you're dead. And I was like, how tough is this freaking kid? Like I was 105 kilos, ran over this, you know, young player, and he's just up ready to knock me head off again. I thought, fuck, I don't want to be knowing him in a couple of years. I'm his mate, you know. So no, I remember that. But mate, you're talking before. You sounded passionate, like when you talk about, you know, where you come from and how hard your parents and that work. Do you think about that stuff before a game? Like I know, I used to play everything down a little bit, but before I'd run out, I'd think, you know, people that you love are watching you and stuff like that, and you just kind of get that. It's like you're going to almost cry a little bit because you're so emotional. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do get that. I find it hard before when I'm running out not to smile. That's what's in me when I'm running out. I smile and
that's fantastic.
Because I love the game. I actually love playing the game, and you know it's hard sometimes when you get to obviously this level because you get caught up in all the other stuff and you forget about the actual game itself, and you forget why you play it, why you originally started to play it, and then. You know, I still get my old man comes to almost every game. My mum tries to get down when she's not working. I have 3 sisters, and they've got 4 nephews. They've given me 4 nephews now, and they all love their footy. So it's certainly over the last few years I've started to appreciate the game again and just really be grateful and happy that we get to play the game. So
mate, that's awesome. You got a good head on your shoulders.
You were described to me by Daryl Broman, and as the best description of a football player. Last year we interviewed him for the finals. And he said that you reminded him of a player from the 80s because you've got a lot of sting in defence and you work for the 80 minutes and so forth. That was probably the best way I've heard any footballer described. So you contribute that sort of growing up in that tough area, Blacktown, that you got that toughness about yourself?
I think it all goes to my old man, how he taught me how to play the game, and you know probably his expectations were always different sort of to you know everyone else's expectations. And you know when you're a kid you only want to impress your old man. I feel sorry for you because you kind of hard to impress him.
If I didn't score 4 tries a game, you just smack me in the back of the head, not feed me for dinner.
Yeah, but that's like his expectations, you know, were sort of like that. And then as you grow a bit older, you realise what you are about, what you want to be known for. And I remember Peter Sharp, he's at Parramatta, great assistant coach. Sometimes we'd rock up the train on Monday or Tuesday and be a bit under the weather, and we start ripping into the train, and he'd just start laughing at me, and he'd go, "Mate, you were born in the wrong era, mate." You were born in the wrong era. But I don't really read too much into it. I just try to go out there and rip in for the 80 minutes, and you know that's to me what footy still is. You go out there and you rip in, and then once you're off, it's over.
Absolutely.
And you know, of course, in today's day and age, and with all the money and what other expectations on you, that there's a part of the game you have to, you know, the criteria you have to meet. But you know, the 80 minutes has never changed. The game has never changed, and it's still going to be that no matter what.
That's it, mate. Well said. Well said. And mate, I know you've had a little bit of a taste, but do you have set goals? I know it's probably something I wish I did more, but do you have, say, I want to play Origin this year?
Yeah, I think probably over last season and moving on, there was a before that, with all the ASADA stuff going on, we haven't really talked about it at Cronulla. There was a lot of time where I wasn't setting goals. I sort of was just living week to week, really, not knowing where we were going, had no direction.
It was a shit fight there.
It was an absolute shit fight, and then so that transferred into us, not just the club, but as the players. And mate, we were just going week to week, not really looking forward to anything because that's what we're trying to get through. And it's only been since that period's ended that you've been able to look forward and go, oh right, well this is what I want to do again. This is what I want to aim for, and this is, as a club, this is what we want to do. So ever since that, I have been looking forward again and have been trying to achieve things, and certainly Origin's on that list. I feel like I'm in a good position as a player now, and at the right age where if it's going to happen, it's hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And I know it comes down to just playing at a high level at Cronulla and playing that quality football week in, week out. And then if the opportunity arises, then hopefully I'll be ready to take it.
My opinion is that you're in my team the last couple of years, definitely.
100%. It's just that when you look at the team and it's lacking something, you feel like it lacks that mongrel that. I'm telling you, I've seen Wado. I've been there on the sidelines watching Wado with ice on my knee.
But it's controlled mongrel too. It's controlled.
It's controlled. It's not just lost your head, psycho, ex-Blacktown, crazy man tackle. It's like measured. I'm going to smack. I'm going to rim, and it's the best wax you can ever see. So
absolutely.
How good would that be? Just some of the Queenslanders running out, and him popping out the line and just jamming them like that. That's what you need. But I'd love to see it. But mate, all the best, mate. Thanks so much for talking to us, legend.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
My first rugby league guest on the Undergrothe for the year.
Thanks for having us, boys. Anytime, obviously, good mates of you and your family, and the legend of our game over here. I don't know how his namesake went, but thanks for having us, boys. It's good to be here.
Champion, brother.
Thanks, Wade. Cheers, champion. Thanks, mate.